Okay, I've got another game for you. Miaoyi playing against this Grandmaster from Serbia. Gorgon is from, like I said, he's from Serbian. And all the games I've covered, there's been so many Serbian Grandmasters. So you can see he was born in 1963. He's actually been a Grandmaster for longer than Miaoyi's been alive. He been Grandmaster since 1997. Miaoyi not born to 2010. But the reason there's so many Serbian grandmasters in Miaoyi's playing repertoire is because Miaoyi actually was kind of trapped outside of China for a while. Yeah, there was a lot of tournaments, so she just went to these different tournaments. She was trapped outside of China because of COVID. There was COVID issues, and so she couldn't go back to China for a while. And so, yeah, she went to like all the Serbian tournaments there were, and so she faced pretty much all the Serbian grandmasters. But yeah, let's go ahead. Oh, so Miaoyi, as you may already know, she's rated at 2399 now, so she's got her women's grandmaster norms, and yeah, she's been just tearing it up. Let's go ahead and get into the game. So Miaoyi begins with pawn to e5 here. And we have pawn to c5 by the Serbian Grandmaster. And so this is a Sicilian defense, of course. We now have pawn to f3, or excuse me, we have knight to f3 by Miaoyi, and now pawn to d6. This is main line. This is the main way that you play the Sicilian. We now have pawn to d4 by Miaoyi, and now knight to f6 here by Gorgon. Goran, I should say, Goran. No, so you got to be careful about this. This is fine in this position, but there are some interesting opening traps that you have to be aware of if you're not going to play C captures on D5. So you definitely need to study this opening to get away with not capturing on this to d4. I normally capture immediately rather than risk it, but yeah, knight to f6 is a great move, obviously, since it was played by a grandmaster. Now we have knight to c3 by Miaoyi, and we have pawn now captures on d4, so c captures on d4 by the grandmaster. Miaoyi captures with the knight, as you do, of course, and now we have knight to c6 by black, bishop now to g5 by Miaoyi, and now pawn to e6. And yeah, these have all been pretty much book moves, things that masters have played many times in recorded play. In fact, yeah, this position has been played thousands, tens of thousands of times, I should say. We have queen now to d2. The grandmaster develops his bishop to e7. And we have castles queenside by Miaoyi, and now castles kingside by the grandmaster. So should be some fireworks here as we have king's castle to the opposite side. A lot of times you'll go ahead and try, well, you can't push those pawns yet, but a lot of times you'll try and throw your pawn structure at the opposite side castle, so this should be a lot of fun. Miaoyi goes right into the attack with pawn to f4, which is a book move. We have knight captures knight on d4, queen captures knight on d4, and now queen to a5 by the grandmaster. By the way, Miaoyi was just 11 years old when this game was played. It was played in Christmas break last year, so almost a year ago this game was played. So Miaoyi plays king to b1 here, which is a book move, and now we have rook to d8 by the grandmaster, and Stockfish isn't a big fan of this move, calls it a mistake, says instead should have pushed the pawn and kicked that bishop, or made him decide what he was going to do. But let's continue. We now have queen back to d2 by Miaoyi, and queen comes back to c7 by the grandmaster. Now pawn to g4 by Miaoyi. So you see throwing those pawns at the king side, and his pawn to g4 move is considered an inaccuracy. It would have been better to play bishop to d3, as was played in several of the other games that came to this position. But as of move 13, this pawn to g4 move This is a brand new game, so nobody has played this position in recorded chess play. And we'll go ahead and continue. The Grandmaster now attacking the king's side. Well, it's the queen's side, but the king's castle over there with pawn to b5. And it seems like you could go ahead and grab the pawn here, and actually you could capture him a couple of ways. But of course, if you do that, the rook is going to come here, and it could be very dangerous. Stockfish doesn't like this move by the Grandmaster, actually, suggesting developing the bishop first, getting your rooks nicely connected before you go into this attack. But we'll go ahead and continue. Miaoyi does grab this pawn as it was free, and it was attacked twice. This is the best move in the position. Now we have queen to b7 by the Grandmaster, and Miaoyi plays knight back to c3. Stockfish suggesting it would have been better to capture the knight first, but after bishop captures back, that seems a little bit scary. It's not that big of a deal since we have this pawn structure, but let's go ahead and continue. We have bishop now to d7, best move in the position for the Grandmaster, and Miaoyi develops her bishop to d3, and now we have bishop to c6 by the Grandmaster. Engine again suggesting maybe kicking the bishop. I think the reason he's not doing that is, well, that does weaken your pawn structure and gives like kind of an anchor or a handhold, I guess, where these pawns could cut into Black's castle. So I think that's why he's avoiding that move for now. And now Miaoyi plays rook h to e1. Rook h to e1, and Stockfish says this is a blunder. She should have developed her rook here instead. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that variation real quick. So instead, Miaoyi should have played rook to f1, so rook h to f1. We have pawn to a5. Again, you're just trying to tear open the king's castle. White should play pawn to e5. We have d captures e5, f captures e5, and then rook d to b8 by Black, threatening checkmate directly on b2. So, of course, White would be obligated to push the pawn to b3. We have knight now coming to d5. Bishop captures bishop. Queen captures, so bishop captures bishop on e7. Queen captures bishop on e7. And now knight captures knight on d5. Bishop captures knight on d5. Rook then lifts to f4. And now pawn to a4 by Black. Bishop now to c4. And queen back to b7. Bishop captures bishop. Pawn captures bishop on d5 now. And now rook to d4 by Miaoyi. And this position would have been superior than what Miaoyi would have been able to get on the chessboard under correct play by the Grandmaster. But let's go ahead and go back to what actually happened on the chessboard. So yeah, Miaoyi plays rook to e1, and now we see pawn to h6, which at this point Stockfish isn't real happy with this move. Instead, it's saying go ahead and go for that checkmate threat right away, rook a to b8. But we'll go ahead and continue. Miaoyi plays kind of a strange move in the position. She plays pawn to h4 here, so offering up the bishop. And this is a blunder. Strangely enough, the best move would have been to play pawn to e5 here, attacking a knight. So if he takes the bishop, Miaoyi takes a knight, and then, yeah, there's a lot of pawns hanging out really close to the Grandmaster's castle. But we're going to go ahead and continue from here. We now have... This is funny. So we got a hanging bishop here. Nobody wants to do anything about it. So we now have rook a to b8, of course, threatening checkmate. So I guess it's not that funny. Stockfish would have preferred the other rook. So rook d to b8, but we'll go ahead and continue. We now have, of course, pawn to b3, as you saw in the earlier variation. You got to play that move or you're going to get checkmated. The Grandmaster finds the strongest move now, queen to b4. And now Miaoyi actually grabs the pawn on on H6. This was a blunder. She should not have done that. So Miaoyi plays bishop captures on H6. The Grandmaster, of course, captures back. Pawn captures on H6. This is the best move of the position, and he is now up a point. He's up material. Miaoyi plays pawn now to G5, which is an inaccuracy. It would have been better to actually push this pawn. Although in both positions, black is winning. In both positions, black is winning. Yeah, Miaoyi is down some material here. So, of course, if the Grandmaster plays correctly, he should be able to stop this attack and have an advantage. The Grandmaster does actually blunder here. He plays king to F8, which is not the correct move in the position. He should have instead played knight to G4, just getting his knight out of danger. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that variation now. So he should have played knight to G4 here. And then best for white would be pawn to F5. Pawn to H5 now, defending the knight. Pawn captures on E6. So F captures on E6 by white. F captures on E6 by black now. Knight now to D5, seemingly sacrificing the knight. Best would be go ahead and trade for black. So queen takes queen on D2. Rook takes queen on D2 now by white. And now pawn captures knight on D5 by black. Pawn captures back. So E captures on D5 by white. And now bishop captures on G5 by black, so black giving back some material here. Pawn captures on G5 now. Now bishop captures on D1, getting back a little bit of material. And black would have been definitely better in this position. It's a bit awkward. I mean, white's king would be safer, but it should be defensible, and Goran is up 2 points. He's up 2 points in this position, so this would have been a better way to play. But let's go back to what actually happened on the chessboard. Okay, so yeah, Goran did play king to F8, which was a mistake, as we saw. We now have pawn captures on F6 by Miaoyi, bishop captures on F6 by Goran, and now pawn to E5 by Miaoyi, the strongest move in the position, kicking the bishop. The bishop goes ahead and grabs, so Goran grabs the pawn on H5 here. He probably should have just gone ahead and moved the bishop back. That would have been better. As now Miaoyi finds the strongest move in the position. She plays rook to F1. And now we have pawn captures on E5 by the Grandmaster. And Miaoyi actually blunders here and plays pawn to F5. She should have instead attacked the bishop with queen to H2 here. That would have been the best move in the position. We'll go ahead and continue with what happened on the chessboard. So Miaoyi should have played queen to H2, but we're not going to go into that. We'll just continue with what actually happened in the game. The Grandmaster finds the best move in the position. He plays bishop to G5, attacking the queen. Now Miaoyi plays the best move considering the circumstances. She moves her queen to E1. And the Grandmaster now attacks the rook with bishop to G2. We have rook lifts to F2, which is a slight inaccuracy in the position. Actually, it would have been okay to let the rook fall. Actually, it's a mistake. Miaoyi should have captured this pawn here, just further undermining the Grandmaster's king safety. We will go ahead and continue. The Grandmaster plays rook to C8 here, which is a blunder. Rook to C8 is a blunder. And we'll take a look at why that's a blunder now. So we'll just kind of continue with this idea of this move, and we'll see why it is a blunder. So under correct play, white should play pawn captures on E7. We would have bishop to G5, the best thing that can be played, as the rook is bearing down here, and you can't take the pawn, of course, because of the pin. And now pawn to E5, or excuse me, pawn to E7 check by white. Queen would need to capture on E7, and then rook captures bishop here. And yeah, Miaoyi is now just winning in this position. She's up material. She would have been up material in this position. And yeah, her king is much safer. So everything is kind of going to everything is going White's way had she played this variation, or well, had she identified this blunder by Black. But let's go back to what actually happened on the chessboard. So the Grandmaster played rook to c8. Did Miaoyi catch this blunder? She actually goes ahead and captures the bishop, and yeah, Stockfish says this is a missed win. As you saw, the variation, why that was the case. And now the Grandmaster plays queen captures knight. Now we see her play, so yeah, the queen captured the knight on c3. We have pawn captures on e6 here. And now queen captures queen by the Grandmaster, the strongest move in the position. And rook, of course, captures on e1 now, capturing the queen as well. And now we have pawn to f6 by the Grandmaster. This is the best move in the position. Bishop now to f5 by Miaoyi. And now rook lifts up to c3 by the Grandmaster. We have rook to f1 by Miaoyi. And now king to e7 by the Grandmaster. Miaoyi drops her rook back. She drops her rook back to g1 here, which is a mistake. She should have attacked the rook instead. King attacks rook, so king b2 would have been a better move, but we'll go ahead and continue. We have pawn to h5 by the Grandmaster. Again, this is considered an inaccuracy by the Grandmaster. He should have instead played rook to d4, but we will continue. Now we have rook to d1 by Miaoyi. And yeah, Stockfish doesn't like this one. Says it's a blunder. She should have instead played king to b2. Either way, Black would actually be winning. Just yeah, Black has the opportunity to go up even more with this move. We're going to go ahead and continue with what happened on the board. The Grandmaster does lift his rook now to d4. But this is a mistake. He should have played instead rook to f3. So he should have moved his rook over here, attacking the bishop. But we're going to go ahead and continue with what actually happened in the game. We now have rook to d3 by Miaoyi. And again, this is considered a blunder. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at how Black could take advantage of this blunder. So the Grandmaster should have played rook captures d3. White would then would be to capture back with the pawn. So c captures d3. And this should have been a better position for Black. But okay, let's go ahead and go back to what actually happened in the game. So Miaoyi plays rook to d3. We now have rook captures on d3. And Stockfish is saying this is a missed win by the Grandmaster. You saw the variation he should have played. Miaoyi captures back in the best possible way. She plays pawn captures on d3. We now have pawn to h4 by the Grandmaster. Stockfish would have preferred playing pawn to a5 instead. And right now, everything's pretty even for both players. Now we see Miaoyi attacking the rook with king to b2. Definitely want to activate your kings in an endgame like this. The Grandmaster finds the best response. He just drops his rook all the way back to c8. And we have rook to g2 by Miaoyi. And now we have rook to h8 by the Grandmaster. Miaoyi brings her rook over to c2. Although it probably would have been better to go ahead and start pushing pawns here. We're going to go ahead and continue. The Grandmaster activating his king to d6 now. And now we have bishop back to h3 by Miaoyi. Again, the computer is suggesting that these pawns should be pushed over here rather than moving the bishop around. We now have bishop to f4 by the Grandmaster. And yeah, pawn to a4 would have been a better move here for Black. And now we have rook to g2 by Miaoyi. And yeah, again, the engine is just saying, hey, please push your pawns. Push the pawns, please. Just keep on seeing that same thing. And now the Grandmaster finds the strongest move in the position. He plays bishop to g3. Miaoyi now drops her rook back to g1. And of course, Stockfish would prefer that this pawn be pushed to b4, as we've seen over and over again. And now rook to h5 by the Grandmaster. Miaoyi plays the strongest move in the position. She moves her rook to f1, attacking that loose pawn, and the Grandmaster has to defend in some way. He plays rook to h6. Better would have been bishop to f4, just blocking the rook out there, or blocking White's rook out of there. But let's continue with what happened on the board. Now we do see the move pawn to b4, and as you can imagine, that's the best move in the position. And now we also see the bishop coming to f4 by the Grandmaster. And Miaoyi finds the strongest move in the position, rook to g1. We have pawn to f5 by the Grandmaster, and this is the best move in the position. Miaoyi grabs the pawn, bishop captures on f5, again the best move in the position. And now we have pawn to h3 by the Grandmaster, and this is considered a blunder by Stockfish, saying instead he should have pushed the pawn here and things would have worked out better, although the reasons aren't exactly clear, so we're not going to go into that. We now have rook to g7 by Miaoyi. This is the best move in the position, of course, attacking the pawn. We have rook captures pawn on e6 by the Grandmaster. That's actually the best move in the position. Miaoyi sweeps up the rook with bishop captures on e6. And now the Grandmaster plays the strongest move in the position. He plays pawn to h4, threatening to win a queen, or pawn to h2, threatening to win a queen on the next move, or to have a new queen born. Miaoyi plays the best move in the position, of course, rook to h7. You can't really play anything else there. Anything else would be crazy. And now we have king captures bishop by the Grandmaster. And Miaoyi is up 2 points here, so things looking pretty good for White. We now have pawn to a4 by Miaoyi, although king to c2 is recommended by the engine. We now have king to f5 by the Grandmaster, and Miaoyi now pushes her b pawn to b5, and now we have pawn to e4 by Black, and Miaoyi captures, so we have d captures on e5 check. King now to g4, going to support that pawn. And we have pawn to a5 by Miaoyi. Bishop now to g3 by the Grandmaster. And now rook captures pawn on h2 by Miaoyi. This is the best move she could play. We now have, of course, bishop captures on h2, evening up, or actually the Grandmaster now is up a pawn. And now Miaoyi plays the strongest move in the position. She plays pawn to b6. We have pawn captures, so A captures on b6 by the Grandmaster. And now Miaoyi plays pawn to a6. This is the best move in the position. We have bishop all the way back to b8 by the Grandmaster. This is the strongest move that can be played. Miaoyi now plays king to c3. We have pawn to b5 by the Grandmaster. That's the best move that can be played. And king now to b4 by Miaoyi. That again is the best move that can be played in the position. King to f4 by Black. And now Miaoyi sweeps up the b5 pawn, capturing it. And then we have bishop to a7 by the Grandmaster. And the players agree to a draw here, as obviously the pawn is going to fall here. And Black can't win the game with just a bishop. But since this pawn is going to fall, there's no way to advance this pawn here. Black would be happy, the Grandmaster would be happy to trade his bishop for this pawn over here at any time. So yeah, after king captures here, the bishop can just kind of fall back to wherever. And as soon as that, guarded or not, even if the king is somehow defending the pawn as it steps to a7, the Grandmaster is going to sweep up that pawn. So this is just a draw. There's no way to win this position for smart chess players. Anyway, so that's the end of the game. Thank you for joining me for that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. I'll be making game reviews every day. I'm also teaching chess classes, individual and group classes. You can check that out on Patreon. Links in the description there. But yeah, thank you for joining me for that. Take care. Bye-bye.